So as you know, there was supposed to be a referendum along with the European and local authority election, which is happening the 7th of June. It seems like it's not 100% confirmed, but going by the government, what they were saying, and what a good media article was out released yesterday too, really talking about it. But going by the mainstream media at the moment, there's not much appetite from the government to have another referendum where the most likely will be hammered again into the Stone Age. So it kind of makes sense for the government. The people are not very happy with them, and like it's nothing really. It's to do with the European Court. I don't even understand it myself, to be totally honest. I haven't really looked into it much, but I was going to look into it a bit more when the time came. But obviously, it doesn't seem like the government are going to go ahead with it, and it doesn't look like it's going to be during this government's term anyway that they will bring this in, because they probably won't have much time afterwards really. Especially because they probably will get a hammer in the European election, and the local authorities will be sucking their wounds from that. They're still sucking their wounds from trying to remove women from the constitution. They're crying, still crying about that. But I can kind of see it because people are not happy with the government. The show that overwhelmingly, the two referendums over the biggest defeat for the government in any referendum in the history of the state. And obviously, if they brought in another referendum now, and including myself, I would probably vote no, just to piss off the government, just to fuck them over. To be told as they're fucking you and me over every day of the week. They're fucking us over. The hard-working people of Ireland, they're fucking them over every day of the week. So it's about time we start fucking them over a bit, the government, in terms of not letting them get their agenda through the constitution, because obviously they want to remove women from the home, and whether they fucking have lunatics one in the country. Well, there's lunatics one in the country already, but they had a fucking fairy tale reality where women don't exist and stuff like that, etc., etc., etc. But thankfully that didn't go well for them, to say the least, which is great to see. But I'm sure they know, they can see it. There was a poll released the other day. 60% of the Irish electorate think there should have been a general election, instead of changing the decks on the Titanic, as it was often said. Like just putting a new Pharaoh's Taoiseach. There probably should be, like, it's only about 10 months, 11 months at most into the election, to the general election. So it's not really much point in why the. But again, the only reason why, if they thought they were going to win it, they would be jumping up and down saying yes, 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 we're going to win. We're going to be the government again. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, we're supreme and stuff like that. But we all know in their fairy tale land, and they all know it. Like, look at Fine Gael at the moment, all jumping ship. There's about 12 of them gone, more than 12. We don't know about Leo Varadkar or Simon Coveney here, but I presume they would fuck off too and not run again, basically, I presume. And we're seeing Fianna Fáil at the moment, it's just ruptures everywhere on Fianna Fáil with the leadership. And on immigration too, immigration's really destroying them because they just refuse to do anything on immigration. And we see where Sinn Féin not so much as fracturing at the moment, but people are told they get Sinn Féin too, and Sinn Féin don't know what really to do. And not even to mention the people before profit and all them, nobody cares. To be totally honest, to put it lightly. But yes, but obviously they know that people are just going to fuck them over. So that's why it's kind of obvious the government wouldn't do it just to be fucked over, because they don't want to have 3 big defeats on the election day when they lose majority. Say they use the majority of European Council seats, as in the European Parliament and stuff, to be sucking their room something fierce if they lost all them, like half their seats. Even if they lost them all, they would be crying something fierce. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, if they lost all those seats to other parties and stuff like that. And the same with the local authority. If they lost, say, I don't know, because again, you have to understand this huge upward among Fianna Fáil. The people are not happy with the country more than ever before. People were up in arms over. Like, you have to see there's a huge change in the country in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael could literally say to people, shoot somebody in the middle of the street and say, oh, it was somebody else that done it, like Bertie O'Halloran could literally go out and shoot somebody in the middle of the street and he still get elected. Now, I don't know if Micheál Martin went out and shot somebody in the middle of the street. I don't know would he really get off with it, with the Irish people, because I think the Irish people just are sick and tired of being left paddy last and being sold out to the European Union. I think people are just sick of it. And it's come to a head now, and particularly with immigration, it's come to a head where people just have enough, not going to tolerate anymore, and just want them gone, out, get them out. And that's just as simple as that. That's just the beginning and end of it. People are just have enough, They have enough being left Paddy the last. So, and that's what's going to happen. But even if they lost 40% of the council seats on each local authority, even though a council has very little power, but still to be sucking their wounds in some areas. As I say, even in County Cavan, it's mainly Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael councils. For the last half of those seats, they'd be very upset. Because it's always really been a Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael area, Cavan, with council seats and stuff like that. So mainly Fianna Fáil, but Fine Gael too, in an extent. But say if there was loads of independents, please God, some good few independents to get in. Or even other party into, I would say, like Into has representatives going for the local authority elections in Cavan. Not so much there's one Labour Party, there's no people for profit Social Democrats. There's a few Sinn Féiners, but will you say Sinn Féin's the same as the government? So there's, but even if they lost some of those seats, it'd be upsetting for them. But we see what happens. But we all know they wouldn't have done it. I think we all know they don't want to deal with the overwhelming backlash, because it probably would bring down the government again. It might be a new Taoiseach again, because it probably be another big defeat for them, like probably in the 80% range. Because let's be fair, any referendum they put before me now, I say this will be the last, because after the defeat I don't think they're going to risk putting another referendum in front of anybody for a long time. But any referendum they're going to put in front of me, I'm just going to refuse it. Because there's nothing to benefit the Irish state, it's just to sell us out even more. It's the same with the right to house, and the what to just bring in people and give them a house and throw Paddy and Mary out onto the doorstep. Because they don't care, and they want to get rid of private property rights, and that's as simple as that. That's what the right to housing is. Whenever that comes up, there'll be another way. Yet they're not going to risk it now and get a big kicking. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching, and bye.